Imagine not being Leeds, not feeling this pain, not dancing through thunder, not walking through rain. Imagine not rising with fists in the air when the world turned its back and no one would care. We've lived in the ashes, we've drowned in defeat, but still we stand proud on our battered old feet. Imagine not loving with all that you are. Imagine not being Leeds.
We love you, Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.
We do love you, Leeds. Hey up, everybody. Hope everyone's had a good weekend. I know I have. It's been a really good one. How are you all doing? I see who's in. Andrew, Michael, hey up. Evening, mate. Evening, Andrew. I hope you're well, mate. We still need 4+ loans. Oof. You're asking a bit too much there, Andrew. Yeah, we still need a few more, don't we? Still need a few more. Hey up, Nige. Hope you're good, mate. Tickle those likes for our Matty Chase Top Banana. Hey up, Adam. Yeah. Not like him to be late. No, you know what it was? I always wear socks because I've got laminate flooring in the room. And I thought, I don't need socks. And then I sat down when we were about to go live and realised I need some socks. So yeah, I quickly went and got put some socks on. I'm a creature of habit. I could not do a stream sockless. So that's why I was a couple of minutes late. Oh, hey up, Mike. Top Man, I thought we played okay yesterday with it being a pre-season friendly, 100%. Yeah, please like, please subscribe if you don't mind. That would be fantastic. Evening, Brookie. Priestley, evening, it being the wife's birthday, and you're still doing this, mate. She is very much asleep. Or I probably wouldn't be here tonight, right? But no, she's asleep, mate. She's well out for the count, mate. Cheers. John Pepper, Mitrovic worth a punt. Yeah, it really is, mate. Mitrovic or an Ivan Toney, if you bring one of them over from Saudi, I'll bite your hand off. And yes, I was wrong about Goodmanson. Brookie, I'm happy what I saw, but it's only odd game you've seen him in so far. So you can reserve judgment, although I do want you to be positive about all the signings. Hey up, John. Hope you're well, buddy. 3 before Everton would be nice. That's the aim. It's got to be the aim. Can easily get 3 deals done. I just won in 2 weeks. Evening, Matty lad. Evening, Duncan. Happy birthday to your good lady, Matt. Cheers, Martin. Thank you. She had a really good weekend. Really good weekend. She obviously went out last night yesterday, early evening for bottomless brunch with all the football parents and really good group. About 15 of us. It was class. Went out for a bit of a dance around Ponty. Whoever knew Ponty? What a good night. Ponty ain't a bad night, you know. Ended up in some what's it called? In some drag bar. It's a bit weird. Yeah. It was something new for me, but my lass loved it. It was really good. Dancing the night away in a drag bar. We all went class, to be fair. And then today she's gone out with a friend for picture on the plate sort of food. Those 6 courses sort of meal where it's all small portions would have been no good for me, but you have about 20 courses. So she had a lovely weekend, which is main thing in it. She absolutely loved it. So yeah, I'm buzzing with that. Get James Justin, he can play both sides. Yeah, well, I don't know if you watch Late Night Leeds, Andrew. Adam drops a bit of a bomb that he's in there with a certain Graham Smith, and he knows a little bit. Through that sort of avenue, and he swears blind it's not on through who he knows. So I would love James Justin, I won't lie, Andrew. But yeah, Adam says it's not going to happen, so I have to see. Sod Mitrovic. Hey up, Angela. Hope you've had a good weekend. Hi, everyone. Aaron surprised me yesterday in a good way. Yes, he did, and we'll get into that. She's asleep. What did you do? Speak to her about Leeds. Yeah. I send her to sleep all the time. 8 million for Justin. And tired the missus out on her birthday. Yeah. Oh, God. When is the first international break? The first international break, Robbo, is when I'm doing my walk. So we do the Imagine Not Being Leeds charity walk for Andy's Man Club and Leeds Autism Society, and that is on Saturday, the 6th of September. There is no games that weekend because it is, in fact, international break, mate. So I think we get through 3 games, do we? Everton, Arsenal, Newcastle, and then it's the international break, mate. Happy wife, happy life. You know it, Duncan. Farke was correct with his post-match comments. We look a bit weak up top offensively. We're not Premier League ready yet. Yeah, Nigel, I mean, I agree. I think we've seen a lot worse teams at that top end of the pitch come up, but they probably have been relegated, let's be honest. But there's some really good elements to that offensive structure we've got, some really good players up there. I'm sure you'd agree the majority of those players we're happy with. It's more the depth in it, mate. It just does look a little bit weak. Is it Prem ready? Maybe not depth-wise, a couple of injuries and you're really struggling. You know, I think Ramazan is decent off left. We saw Aronson play okay off at right. Does that mean Nonto can play about left? Maybe if we were desperate. Metcha looks good. Pirro looks brilliant. But yeah, you still want a winger /10 and a striker to come in. What's going to blow doors off the injuries, really, don't you? We know we were looking at Pajau, so we know we've got the funds and we know we're looking in those sort of waters. So I expect us to get some big deals done, mate. I really do. Yeah. Still absolutely not having Aronson for any real. Oof, you're gonna have to bend on that one, mate, because he's gonna be here, and you know that. Need 4 players minimum. Farke saying before the national break can have 0 points after 3 games. Can't have 0 points. Yeah, we can't have 0 points, but that'd be worst die world, mate, wouldn't it? If we don't win against Everton, or if we lose to Everton, should I say, and we get no points in that, it'll look more likely. It'll probably be more likely we get none than any if we lose that first game. But you get a positive result against Everton and then you go into over 2 confident, don't you? We need that. We need that. Anyone know how good this Gui? Yeah, him was gone to Sunderland, is it? I'm not too asked about him, mate. Harrison not going if you're here, Farke. Yeah, we're definitely more than a gentle D. He's done this a lot when he's been pressed and interviewed post-match and stuff like that, and in press conferences, you can see him. He ain't bothered. He says what's on his mind to a degree, and he's definitely put that on board. So we've seen him do it numerous times. In January, he did it. Said he wanted a striker. He wanted on a 10. Came out and said it in January, and he's put it on board's toes again there, and he just shifted and said, "I'm telling you what I need, what I want. I'm not happy with what we've got up top. In the offensive areas, we are short, and yeah, it's on the board now to do it. But we know they're looking, so I aren't stressed about it. That chance Metcha had early on, that's where you want someone who's physical, and Metcha and finished like Pirro. Yeah, you know what it is though? I think with it being pre-season and just starting to gel together and stuff, I think I've seen enough in a Metcha righteous one to be confident that he'll get them. He scored 2 goals in pre-season. 4 games, 2 goals. It's not a bad return. It's not like he's played 90 minutes in every game. It's not like he's played 360 minutes either. Not bad maths there for me, I think. Yeah, he's played in all 4 games, but he hasn't played a full game in any of them. So, a couple of goals. He's looking good. I like his attributes he brings to us, and we all know Pirro's a finisher. And I think having them 2, 2 of 3, hopefully in the third, and being a top level player, we hope. I think they're great options, and we'll get into it because I wouldn't be surprised to see Metcha maybe start against Everton. I wouldn't be surprised to see Metcha, regardless if we bring in Amunas or not. I wouldn't be surprised if Metcha plays a lot of games this season, a lot of minutes. I think attribute-wise, he's just so physical, so strong. He's actually got a decent turn of pace, can get him behind. I think he has got an eye for the goal. I think he's going to be one of those signs we'll look back at the end of the year and go, wow, what a pickup he was. I genuinely believe he's going to be such a good pickup as a Metcha. If he stays fit, we've got no worries of a Metcha. I think he's got enough about him to prove he's played for Germany. He's played in Bundesliga. He looks great. He was highly rated at City. I don't see anything other than fitness. And we know players can come here and prove fitness. Byram's done it. Solomon's done it. If he stays fit, Metcha, not having to play, he's not having to lead the line every single game like Bamford won. He'd come back a bit early. Metcha will have a squad role. He may start a game. He may not feature for a couple of games, but he'll get minutes. He'll get game time, and I genuinely think he's going to be one of the best pickups we've had this season. I just do. Same as the Byram thing. Byram's been one of the best signings we've had for the last 2 seasons, based on how much he's cost us for the output he's given us, for his expected sort of levels as a fan base, of what we thought we'd get from him. He's probably been his best signing to a degree. From what the expectation being so low, the money's a factor for what we got off him. Never a bad performance. And Metcha can do that tenfold for me. Can do that tenfold. No chance for Tony. No, that's it, Paul. I think for Leeds to get anyone from Saudi, it's a tough ask. But I would love it. Mitrovic would be more gettable than Ivan Tony, 100%. But I'd love someone like that to come over and lead our line. I really would. Miss Bogle yesterday, full-back cover, 100%. 100%. That decor shirt is nice. So I'm waiting for someone to notice that, Boss Nas. So I've still got mine underneath it, my Creators Cup one. But yeah, there's a great website that would only £16. 16 quid. Absolutely perfect copy. With a name on back, name and number. I think it was 18 quid delivered. Mental. Great. So I've got a few of them. Just don't fit, so that's why it's hanging up there. One of those measure. You need to order 2 sizes up. Or maybe I just need to stop eating. That's probably more likely. I say 4 points out of the first 3 games would be so good. Rich, it'd be amazing. It would be absolutely amazing, mate. Really would. Is Farke getting excuse in early? Maybe Nige, but I'm sure we'd all agree with him, wouldn't we? To be honest, I don't think he's off the mark there, really, is he? I think he's bang on money. We do need some players in key areas. We are a bit light up top. The defence is sorted. I mean, the centre halves are sorted. The centre mid sorted. Full back cover. I would say I were quite cool on full back cover. Before we heard Schmidt were going, and then Schmidt plays yesterday. I'm like, right, okay, let's see what he's got. And now I'm glad he's going. But full back area now is probably. I'd say I'm pretty cool on striker. I won't lie. I know we haven't got numbers there. We've only got 2 plus Harry Gray because we've already said the other 2 aren't in his plans. Maybe that changes. We'll see. Wouldn't be. I've seen stranger things happen. Then a player turn it round like a Joseph or a Bamford from being ostracised to turn it around and playing a big role. So it wouldn't surprise me if one of them maybe still had a role at Ellen Road. Wouldn't surprise me at all. But I think the strikers we've got, I'm really happy with. But yeah, like I said, 2's not enough plus grazing currently. But I think the left wing spot is a major one, and I would say now number 1 is fullback cover, because you saw that when Goodmanson went down yesterday, as well as already having Bogle out. You're like, oof, you know, Melier gets 5 minutes in goal and takes Goodmanson out. But that would have worried. Seeing Goodmanson go down, it just shows how frail you are, doesn't it? Especially when Schmidt's not up to it. He looked way out of his depth, but I aren't going to write him off as a player. I think there's a player there. I think he hasn't played much in pre-season, if at all. I don't. Has he played any minutes other than yesterday? Maybe not. He only featured, bare minimum last season. He wasn't even playing at fullback role. So all of a sudden he's playing against a side that finished 6 points behind Atletico Madrid last season. So Villarreal and no mugs. That's the top operators them, and they had some decent players playing out there. And we've seen Betis go to Sunderland and win. We've seen a lot of sides of that sort of level beat teams in and around where we're going to be in division. So I think we put up a really good performance against Villarreal. Leeds to spend 70 or 80 million this week. Well, I think they spend 70 or 80 million before I end at Winterbrook, whether it's this week or not, I don't know. Rachel, Matty, good evening. Good evening to you, my mate. Hope you're well. Yeah, boss, I agree. Metchi will be sharp as a spoon when he's up against Premier League. What? Sharp as a spoon? I didn't read that before I said I agree, did I? I think he'll be bang on me, mate. I think he'll be absolutely bang on. I just saw the word sharp. I agree, mate. He'll be as sharp as a spoon. Nah, mate, I think he'll be all right, mate. The core shirt class. My favourite player, mate. My favourite player, Nige. Really is. Full-back help, left winger and centre forward, and we're good to go up the 49ers. Yeah, that's it. I've seen a lot of people say we need 4 Duncan, including a 10. I'm quite cool on a 10. I really am. I know people are saying we'll play 4-2-3-1 sometimes and we need that option. I had to ask about that, I won't lie. I think there's options there if they really wanted to play it within what we've already got. Yeah, I think left wing, full-back cover and a striker. Although I will say that's 3. Maybe we need 4. Maybe we need a natural left back and a natural right back rather than one that can do both. We've already got that in Byram. I was sort of thinking they may want a level up on Schmidt, someone who can play both sides. I would love us to get a natural right back and a natural left back. So if Byram's a better left back, I'd rather it not be with him being right-footed, even though he can play there. I'd rather, if anything, Byram be the right back cover, if that's where we're going to go down and bring a left-footed left back in, or bring someone in, bring one into each and have Byram as that 5th choice, which is what Adam on Late Night Leeds was saying on Friday. Matty, why have you got a pick of Bricktop under last season's home shirt? Look at what? Why have you got a pick of Bricktop under last season's home shirt? I don't know, mate. Think you may be surprised Danny doesn't go quiet for nothing. Ha ha ha. Went to the game yesterday. Schmidt was woeful. He was. Aronson bailed him out many times. He was working his socks off to get back in. But yeah, he looked really good on that right hand side, Luke. Did Aronson? I thought he played really well. He gets the assist. I say really well. Adam will be slaughtering me for saying this. I didn't expect him to stand out like he did. And he man at match, maybe, for us. He was right up there. He looked way better out wide when he had a bit more space than he did, crowded in that middle of the park. I think he'll get swallowed up in 10 role in Prem if he does in fact play that. I think as an option out wide, he is an option. The energy he brings, is he creative enough? I don't know. He looked all right yesterday. Like I say, created the goal. It was a great ball as well. Knocked it past his left back and whipped it in. But what more? That's what he's going to have to do. He's going to have to maintain that level going into the season to get minutes. And when he gets minutes, he's going to have to try and grab hold of him and do something in them. But for me, he did all right yesterday. He was one of the standouts. If he's available on a loan, mate, I'd get him. I'd have him, Nige. I would 100% have him. Righteous one. I do rate him, Matty. He's a proper 9, just saying that's what you spend 40 mil for someone who's going to do well. Yeah, no, I get that. Like I say, if you're spending 40 million, you'd expect a combination of both, wouldn't you? Someone physical, strong, maybe a bit of pace, can get him behind and can finish ultimately when he gets that chance. Which, like I say, a little bit like last season. I think obviously Metch is a massive level up on Joseph, but you think of the level of the drop down last season, early on before Joseph sort of fell off a cliff, we had that sort of combination where, I was saying it all the time, used to do a show on Leeds Bros called The Final Pint, and we used to speak all the time about Pirro finishes, but Joseph gives you all movement and pulls defenders left. Imagine if you just could combine them. Last season we'd have had perfect striker. Now it's a level up in quality. Somewhat similar though, we talk about Metcher and Pirro. If a Metcher can finish like Pirro, great. We don't know if he can yet. I think he's got it in him, to be fair. We probably know Pirro can't do the stuff that Metcher can do to that level, backing into defenders, winning free kicks. He looks like he's got a little bit of what we used to see from Patrick Bamford, a bit of shithousery in him as well as a Metcher. And he's just a big physical lad. So, like I say, I think for what we've paid for him, which is absolutely nout, his wages, will they be minimal? Yeah, I don't think they'll be massive. I think we took a gamble on him where no one else would. I think he's one of them players that it was an easy transfer for us to do because there won't be many looking at him, not because of his quality, but just because of his injury record. And we've took that little bit of a gamble on him, knowing that it wasn't no money up front. His wages, like I say, will be feasible. And I think what we'll get output-wise will be one of the best signings we've made this window. And right up, mate. I thought Isaac Schmidt was a fish out of water. Perhaps I'm not bothered he's moving on. Yeah, I think we're all the same on it, mate. I think it doesn't help that it's been announced he were leaving. To sort of play devil's advocate, right? Like I say, he hasn't played many minutes. He's technically playing in a position he hasn't played for Leeds. I don't think at right back. And maybe he's filled in for odd minute, but he barely played last season. A lot of it when I had up pitch. It's also common knowledge now that he's leaving the club on loan. And then it's sort of not done now since it got aired. It came out maybe a week ago. He's going out on loan. I think he does. Everyone knows it. And then he's still there. So, if it's a big game and he's a big player, if that's Jaden Bogle and it's a Premier League game, you probably pull him out of squad there because there's a lot going on. And you think, guys, his head's not in it. Maybe there's a little bit of that with Schmidt, but, needs must. He's still there. He hasn't moved on yet. Werder Bremen apparently want him and maybe he's going there, but maybe the Jaden Bogle's had a bit of a knock and it's put a halt on it. All of a sudden, he can't go for that desired move, what he thinks he's getting. And all of a sudden, he's having to play, in front of a packed Ellen Road, playing at right back, thinking a few days ago I was leaving, just sort of looking like that. Maybe there's that, maybe it's a case of mentally, maybe he's just not there at minute with Leeds. He thinks he's going, he's still there and don't want to be. Could that be a factor in why he played so poorly? Because I think defensively he looked poor, but I think going forward he does look quite sharp. And I know he can get up and down, but I think defensively he looked like a fish out of 100%. Hey, mate, starting to get worried as our only attacking signing at the moment is Metcher. Yeah, it's hard because I'm a massive fan, mate, of Pirro, massive fan of Ramazani, massive James fan, non-O fan. Not an Aronson or Harrison fan, but there's still that depth there. They both played in Premier League. So I don't think... we've even seen Farke in his post-match sort of talking about, we didn't have Jack Harrison available, and you think he's actually talking about him like he's in his plans, which were a bit of a worry. But I love who we had last season, and I think a lot of them can do it. But yeah, I am stressed about it because I know they're looking for a left winger. We know we're going to sign a striker because we just don't have the numbers there. So I'm quite cool on it because I think it's going to happen. But like I say, I do think we've still got a lot. You know, for me, if you can't guarantee it, but if we had no injuries at all season to a Ramazani, a Pinot, and a Metcha, and on or James, I think the quality there, if there were no big injuries, is good enough. Maybe I'm deluded. I think that's good enough. I think the players we've got are good enough. I would argue all them players are bottom end Premier League players, and there's enough quality there to stay up. But you can't risk it with not enough covering positions. But maybe I'm deluded with that. But genuinely, I think Pirro will prove people wrong. I think Metcha will. I think Dan James will have a stellar season if he stays fit. And you know what I think about Ramazani and Nonto. I think the class. So yeah, I'm just super positive. And until I see all else with my eyes, until, you know, if we get spanked by Everton, if we go to Arsenal, we leak 4 goals, until I see that with my own eyes, I'm going to remain positive. And, you know, it'll change if what I see on the pitch makes me feel that way. I can't hide how I'm feeling. But at the minute, there's no cause for concern. We're a little bit threadbare in areas. Couple of areas, you know, seem like we're winning, but we know we are. We know we're looking. We've seen it. We've seen bids going for Pajal. We know it. We know it. Imagine playing Arsenal with Strauch at left back and Schmidt right. Just when it's a nightmare situation, like, isn't it? But right now, it gets you thinking like that. But let's be fair, hand on heart, we don't think that's going to happen, do we? We don't think that's going to happen. Let's bring these up as well. Danny's going to put a few links in chat. So, yeah, check these out. That's my second channel, by the way, my mental health and football channel, Full Time Talk. If you want to check that out, be great. Missing Bogle and James. Well, I said last season, Luke, that right edge for us was as good as the Championship's ever seen for me. That right edge was absolutely unreal. Don't get me wrong, left edge wasn't bad either, won it Firpo and Solomon, hence why we won league on 100 points. But at times, Bogle and James, his understanding and connection and cohesion with each other were just telepathic. I absolutely, when they are on it, I absolutely love watching Bogle and James play. I just think they're phenomenal players. So good. Bogle just knows when to go and when not to go. You know, half the time he doesn't even have to overlap if he doesn't want, because James can knock it past someone and get to byline with his pace anyway. But I just think it's a deadly edge in Championship, and I'm so excited to see how they step up as a duo. I just hope, you know, there's no major injuries there. It doesn't sound long term for either of them, but it also was a little bit of a concern, I think, with Bogle for Farke, and that certainly stopped him from moving Schmidt on. You know, he wanted Schmidt to go out on loan when we get cover for Schmidt. Currently now, we've not got cover for Bogle. Schmidt's cover for Bogle, should I say. So, you know, it's probably a little bit of a stressful situation for Farke at the minute at the full-back. But, yeah, I think Bogle and James, mate, taking them two out of our side, you're weakening it so much. Even having someone decent on right, they had Aronson, but even if he played Nonto on right, which I was surprised he didn't, I won't lie, it making me think more that Nonto's going to move over to the left. So maybe we're not going to be as focused on a left winger. Maybe we are going to bring in maybe a 10 who can do both sides, or maybe we can look at bringing another right winger in, knowing that Nonto's going to challenge Ramazani. Solomon maybe going to come back in a wizard left winger. So many questions, but still quite a bit of time. I think Daniel is too experimental now. Daniel is too experimental now. He's got to know his best starting 11 against them. I think he already does, and I think we all know it, to be fair, bar that midfield. You know, obviously, some of us, we know his defence. We know his defence if everyone's fit. We know his goalkeeper. Let's be fair, as wingers, we probably know it's probably not Ramazani on left. It's probably Nonto and James on right. And then striker, I quite fancy Metcha to start. But even him or Pinot, but it's at midfield, isn't it? But I think any three of them five, or any three of the four, really, with Gruev being the fifth option, who actually looks fantastic in pre-season, does Gruev. He looks like he's leveled up. He looks really, really good. Cannot knock a single minute he's played in pre-season, Gruev. But yeah, I think any three of them five would all be happy with. There's an argument for any combination of them five. So I don't think that's a stressful sort of situation. That's probably his biggest stress, is how he gets majority of them players in. And obviously Strauch will have to play now for Jacobi all at centre half. But I do think, Andy, I think he'll know his strongest 11 already. I do, and I think it's a 4-3-3. Viners have to back Farke. They know what to do. Yeah, and I'd say they backed him so far. I mean, let's be fair. If we'd have actually got I literally forgot his name now. Pajau. If we'd have got Igor Pajau, we'd have been feeling totally different now. We'd have been just saying full-back cover, fair enough. We can get that quite easily, quite cheap. And then, you know, if a striker happens, great. But we know they're trying. We know they're trying. Wilco White's, check that out. Look at you, Danny. Have you put your link last? You gentleman. You gent. You don't door open for you with my Danny boy. Marching on with Sean, check him out too. He has as well. Passion for Leeds, my mate Callum and Danny's channels there. Look, check out the links in there if you want a bit more Leeds content from my buddies. Leeds, I don't think fair to judge Schmidt on this performance. Barely played in a year. Not saying he's going to pull up any trees, but should have more. Yeah, I agree. Like I say, didn't play much last year. He hasn't played much in pre-season. His head's been turned. He won't know where he won't know whether he's coming or going, Adam. But I don't think he looked like he'd be a mainstay at Leeds even if he stayed, and we all sort of know that anyway, don't we? And I'm quite glad he's moving on because I would like our backup to be better than Schmidt. But he did have a bad game, he did, but I do think there's context to that, like you've just said, mate. Batty in the core, you ain't coming through. Yeah. I don't know when the international break is, so after the third game, mate. But I'm not liking Farke's rhetoric that Leeds won't be in. I don't think he means he won't be in top gear. I think he's basically saying we need more additions by the time window closes. That's what he's basically saying, and it's just fact, isn't it? It's just fact. And he's probably giving himself, trying to relieve a bit of pressure on him in the group, saying, you know, maybe to the fans, if we don't get a few signings and a couple of games go past, we may not get the results we want because we're not going to get the goals for it. That's basically what he's saying, and we'd all probably tend to agree with that. You know, do we think a squad right now is good enough to go to Arsenal and win and beat Newcastle? You might all say it is. I do think there's a conversation there that maybe it's not. Everton, I think the squad we've got now, if Pitt plays a fit, we beat Everton at home. And then after that, we'll have to see. But I don't think he's wrong in what he's saying. And I don't think it's we won't be in top gear. I think he'll have everyone who's currently at the squad, you know, in the squad playing at a decent level. He's had with the players we've got currently, Andy, he's got no excuse. He's had ages with them. You know, they've had weeks and weeks together. They've all played games together now. They've got another game this weekend against Milan in Dublin, haven't they? So they've played enough games together for everyone that's currently here. But there is a couple of jigsaw pieces missing, and I think that's fair of him to say, really. Right, so I have faith. Farke speaking how he did after the game. I think he's telling us he knows what he and the recruitment team are doing. But we need two off, yeah. And I think we may even have to settle, you know, on a position what we don't fill. We all were quite happy last season, but felt that we were missing that 10, and we felt that all season, didn't we? It wouldn't surprise me, you know, if it depends what level of quality they go for now. I think the backup fullback or fullbacks won't be too hard to do. I think there's decent backup fullbacks you can pick up for relatively cheap. Do we now say lower our standards? But let's say now it's so much easier for Leeds to probably get a Solomon deal and a Beto deal done than it is to get a Pajau level signing and Rodrigo Muniz. Do they risk going all out for a Muniz, for a Pajau level player, and miss out because we're not in Europe, and miss out because there's teams in Europe waiting for dominoes to fall, and ultimately they're waiting on those moves? Or do we lower the standards ever so slightly and bring in options, bring in more firepower? Like Solomon, you'd rather have Solomon than miss out on that next tier up and just be left with Harrison, Ramazani, Aronson, Nonto and James. So maybe they're still pushing for that top, you know, that stretchable target, that one who's at top at list who is quite hard to get over the line. Hopefully we're still looking at that. But there's also a chance maybe they're going to just come down a notch and go, right, well, he's more gettable. And we get them just because it's better to have those options and still been good. Because I would say now we've got a very good level of player in our squad. I think we've got a lot of very good players. Do we now go and get, you know, a couple of good players, a couple of very good players, a couple of long-staff people, you know, have been in Prem and can do it, a Solomon, a Beto, to a level, but maybe not a Pajau level, maybe not a Rodrigo Muniz level where you can see that, you know, that sell-on value, you can see that high ceiling, that potential for years to come. you know, that Rafinha model that we talk about. You know, you look at that and think, oh, where could they be in 2 or 3 years? Maybe we'll lower that a touch just to guarantee we get someone in through door. And I don't know how you guys feel about that. You know, do you want that? Because I still think a Solomon would be a great addition. And I think now a bit of time's passed from Pajau. If we sign Solomon tomorrow, I don't think many people have moaned. Yeah, we'd be obviously be able to say he ain't as good as what Pajau would have been. But Pajau's gone now. It's done. We've moved on from that. Solomon, great, done. That's sealed now. We can move on. I would love that. And then up top, you know, do they just take it down a notch? Because the Rodrigo Muniz, it's not gone away. I haven't seen many other credible links for anyone else, really. Is it too risky to, you know, hang your hat on someone like him? I think it may be. It may be. 100% Duncan. You said it from day one. Me too. Free transfer, covers both sides. Go get him done. Straight away, great. You know, for me, he'd fill Bogle's boots to a decent level, Kyle Walker-Peters. Some would say he's better than Bogle or has been better than Bogle in his career. He'd have been a great backup. Great backup. Great competition. People being tripped by Aronson buzzing about. He played all right, mate. I'm right. He did. He played well. Hiya, Pat. Evening, Matt. I really hope we get someone in here this week. Yeah, me too. Me too. We'll be trying on it, I'm sure. We'll be trying for it. Yeah, like stacking Eben. Yeah, Goodmanson. Yeah, me too, mate. Mitrovic, Wafers, thought. It's mad money in it. Mad. Thoughts on Longstaff? Tidy. Yeah, tidy. Impressed me just as I thought it would. Just as I thought it would. Not special. Just keeps it ticking over. He's got an engine. He seems to look fitter as game goes on. Does Longstaff? You get through 90 minutes without breaking into a sweat. He's just a steady player. I really like the look of him. I can't say what else other than that Brookie, but he hasn't done anything out of the norm than what I'd expect from him. But you know, he hasn't dropped below that level. He's just going to be a 7 out of 10 constantly. And I think he will start. I don't know who else will start with him, but I think he'll be a starter. Bosnas, disagree. AG, I think Aronson is actually technically up to the level. Oof. It's his strength and physicality that lets him down compared to that Schmidt. He was struggling to control the ball yesterday. Yeah, they were. Yeah, I said that, mate. Hello, having a row in here. No way, mate. His pass detail is still horrendous. We need so much more from our wingers in terms of goals and assists. Not going to come from him. So then down to picking him in games we expect to lose. As an option off bench, I don't mind Aronson off the wing as a bench option, as a depth option. I don't mind him off there. Hey up, Sean. Hope you're doing well, mate. Yeah, there you go. Skip, I've just said that. Let's just pay 17 million for Solomon. There you go. If you can get Solomon for 17 million, that's the fears gone of that left wing in it. Then you can move on to a striker and hopefully get one done. Looking at Leeds 1-1 draw, not too good. I'm worried. Not really, Mr. Gold. 1-1 against Villarreal. Finished what? 5th, 6th in La Liga. It's the Champions League side, mate. Level. It's not a bad result. Them and Scum. I don't rate Scum. Don't get me wrong. And I know it's not about what's in paper. You look at our fixtures. 2 games in Germany we should win. We win, and then they look good doing it. Plenty of goals, and then you know your Scum and your Villarreal games. 2 draws. It's not bad. You look at Sunderland, other than can't buy a win, can't buy a draw. Pre-season or not, momentum. Even signing Solomon, I just don't feel. I just feel won't be making that step forward. I don't know, mate. I say it's opinions in it. He's a level down on what we've gone for currently, but he's a level up on what we've got currently as well. You know, we've only got really Ramazani for me who played. We've only got 3 wingers. I don't even look at Aronson like a winger, although he's probably an option there now because he ain't going to go because of PSR. And I don't even count Harrison has been a player at our club because I just can't go there. So Solomon, I said last season in Championship, yeah, it's a level up going to Prem, but I would be so happy with the 4 wingers as they are. If we'd have all signed Manor Solomon and never been in for Pajau, we wouldn't even be having a conversation about Solomon not being good enough. There's just no way we'd all think it would have that level. Callum Wendo, yeah, I mean, have you seen how credible for that? He got linked last couple of years as well. He's been linked a few times, but I've seen a few Prem teams in for Callum Wendo. Again, he looked a decent talent a few years ago. I haven't really looked at him since. I don't know. Yeah, I think Pino's going to do all right, mate. I do. Someone just buy Parrott in Holland. He will get us 15 goals at least better than Offer. You think? I've seen a few people not rate him. A couple of my mates were Irish. I don't know. Sean Healy, did you say what he wasn't that good? I've seen. I think Jared don't rate him either. much poorer players in the squad than Aronson. Just the eye test for me. I think his decision making can sometimes be questions. Yeah, you've got to go off the eye test though to sort of say Aronson's a good player, I think, mate, because stats don't really back it up. I mean, his G&A last season were all right. But yeah, I don't think his stats back up too much for his pass accuracy and things like that. But again, he looked all right yesterday and it was a decent level. It's preseason friendly, but he looked all right. And there's an option. What about Gray? Harry Gray starting for Leeds or getting minutes? I thought he was brilliant. Again, when he come on yesterday, played on right wing, did all right. I thought he looked great in Germany, got the assist in it for Pino's goal. I like him. I think he's way better than his years. I just don't see him playing any minutes other than cup competitions. So hopefully we can have a decent cup run and get him some minutes, because I don't think he's far off, to be fair, of getting minutes. If we were in Championship, I'd probably back him to get quite a few minutes if he would have stayed down. But yeah, it's hard to think of a 16, 17-year-old kid getting game time in Premier League when we're threatened with relegation potentially. How you doing, Callum? Do you think it will be a free midfield, Longstaff, Stack and Ayo, then Ampadu on if we need? Michael, I think it'll be a free midfield, but I think Ampadu's at the base of it. I think Ampadu starts. I think you saw again yesterday why he's there. He's a leader. He's a really good player as well. I've seen a few people as well sort of say you can't just keep saying he's good enough because he's captain. I think his general play. I think even if he won't captain, there's an argument that he gets somewhere close to even starting anyway. So I aren't reading too much into yesterday. Tanaka starting on bench, because that's hard to believe Tanaka's not going to start. It seems mental. He's probably one of his better technical players, if not just better players. A lot of people rated him as best player last season, so it's hard to imagine him not playing. But yeah, it's so difficult. But I'm happy. He's got some tough decisions to make. Just hope there's no injuries to sort of force his hand again and make decisions easy for him. I hope he's got some more tough decisions to make, with wingers, with centre halves. I'm hoping Strout plays brilliant at centre half, and you're looking at saying, well, I'll Pidgeot start now, But yeah, I don't know. I think Ampadu starts. I think Stack starts between Longstaff and Tanaka for that other spot. It's just so difficult, but I'm so happy. So happy. Hiya, Hiru. We need 5 signings, 9, 10, right mid, left back, right back. A lot of words. So I assume you're expecting Nonto to be that left wing option with Ramazani. So you need someone to cover James. I mean, I can't disagree with a wing spot, a 9, a left back and a right back. I think they may just do 3 and they get the full back cover, maybe does both sides. Or maybe we get a left back, a right back and maybe don't get a 9. I don't think we sign 5. I don't. The 10 for me isn't that important. It really isn't. If they get an El Canouse, he can play off the left, even though he's not done it much, and he can obviously play in the 10. But I don't think it'll be hard to sort of mould him into playing a bit more out wide. He can play as a high 8 as well, which a lot of people have said he can play as a high 8. I don't think we need another central player if we're not playing with a 10, to be honest. I don't think we need to bring in another high 8. Yeah, he's got more quality than Longstaff. If he's going to play a little bit more advanced, he's probably got more ball quality than a Tanaka. What I'll say is, creativity-wise, so it looks like it's going to have to come from wings. Centrally, really strong, really physical, hard to beat, combative, but you are going to lack that quality if you've not got a 10 in there. You are going to lack that. If you are going to play, say, an Ampadu, a Stack will look phenomenal yesterday, by the way, and maybe a Longstaff and Tanaka doesn't start. That creativity, what you get from a 10, you may be subsidising that a little bit to be hard to beat, and hoping for your wide players and your number 9 to sort of bring that flair and bring those chances. But yeah, I don't know. 5's a lot. I don't think we do 5. It looks better than okay, Michael, for me. It looks good. I like him. Yeah, we'll have to see. Problem with that, Mr. Gold, is the level of opposition in it. Milan looks great on paper. It's probably going to be the B team. But again, winning, scoring, breeds confidence. If it's the B team, I expect us to go and put 3, 4, 5 goals past them. And that'll be great for confidence too. Let's hope it's not the B team. Let's hope it's more of a challenge. But if it is a B team, let's go put some goals past them. Pirot to start 15 goals this season. I reckon he gets about 9 or 10. Yeah, they have got some talented players, mate, but they're just in a bit of a mess, aren't they? Yeah, it could be starting 11. Yeah, it could be. It could be. Yeah, Richard, I've seen a lot of people saying this. Just that bit of quality top end at pitch down. Farke said that himself on it. But we know we're looking there. Pajau, El Canoes, we're looking for that kind of player. Regardless of personnel, we need to find some patterns going forward and a way to link the team up. Attacking aims are getting fullbacks in good position. We need 4 good ones. Yeah, no, I agree, mate. You saw yesterday, didn't you? We obviously Schmidt playing there, and it just looked very disjointed at times, but we still look good at times as well. Like I say, the midfield looked really good. Obviously, not having that natural right back in Bogle, obviously was going to sort of ruin the flow of the game for Leeds. We weren't going to look as good. But other areas we look brilliant, like I say, midfield, I thought we controlled it pretty well. We looked fairly solid in there. I know they scored a goal, they had a couple of chances, but I do think we'll look hard to beat first and foremost. I think we'll get a lot of draws this season. I don't know if you agree with that. I think we'll get a lot more draws than we've seen for last, for a long time. Imagine we had a midfield, Batty, Vinny and Decor. Yeah. Decor would have fit right in with them too as well, wouldn't he? El Canoes was good today, really impressive and creative presses and has a good delivery. Yeah, he got an assist. I got told, didn't he? But yeah, I didn't watch it. Mr. Gold, the way I see it, Leeds can never be as bad as my national team, Ireland. So come on, Leeds. Love it. Thing is with that though, Brookie, I didn't watch it. I've seen him play obviously a few times, but his passing maybe off it a little bit because he's a creator, isn't he? He's a creator. Don't get me wrong. Pablo's passing will bang on money, but when you're a creator, when you've given that license and you're a bit more of a creative player, sometimes your passes will be. I expect El Canoes is a way better player than Adam Forshaw, but I expect Adam Forshaw's passing to be closer to 100% accurate than El Canoes. For obvious reason, side to side, keeps ticking over. His job is to maintain possession. El Canoes, his job is to go make something happen, rather than just keep possession. So I expect his passing now and again to be off. It may be way off. I might be way off at mark with that. He may have played some dreadful passes because I haven't seen the game in question, but that's what I'd sort of suggest with it. He's going to push the envelope a little bit more, isn't he? Yeah, he's 107 in now. Brilliant. Thanks so much for watching. Late on a Sunday, on 66 likes. So if you don't mind banging a like, it just gets the algorithm going and more people involved interacting. If you don't mind, that'll be brilliant, please. And if you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. We hit 3K Friday night, which was unbelievable. Absolutely love what I've got here. So chuffed, so proud. Thank you all so much. David Farke, Michael Gott says, David, didn't Farke say similar last year when our team was threadbare at the start? Then after a few signings, we moved forward. Yeah, he did. Yeah, this is it, mate. I don't want them to buy something that isn't better than what we have other than for fullback cover. Yeah, obviously fullback cover, we're not going to bring anyone in now who's better. So you're right with that. Fullback cover has to come in. You are bringing in a bench option there. The Solomon for Ramazani, a lot of people disagree with me because I think Ramazani is as good as Solomon, but I think the rhetoric would be most people would say Solomon's better than Ramazani. So I think that in most people's eyes would be an upgrade. I don't think anyone would be bothered signing Solomon in a negative way. Really, it's a step down. We can all agree with that from what we're linked with, but I think a lot of people would be happy with Solomon. Striker wise, I think a Beto currently is a worse option than a Pido and a Metcha. And I wouldn't mind Beto, but after seeing Metcha, the only question mark is fitness. I'm happy with what we've got up top. Just need another body. Honestly, this is going to sound mad. I aren't bothered about us going and signing a £30 million striker. If that's the one if we were to go sign a Pajau level winger, forget about Solomon, part Solomon for now, and fullback cover, or bringing an El Canoes or whatever like that, and we end up bringing in a good centre forward, I'll be all right with that, because I rate Pido and Metcha so much. Maybe I'm crazy with that one. Munez, great if we get him. Shoot for the stars and see where we end up. But striker, I ain't sweating on striker. Pido's rarely injured. And Metcha, question mark. But yeah, if you can guarantee me they're going to stay fit, which you can't, I know. If you do, I'd back them I'd back them both to do well. Crazy, I know, but I really do. 49ers have backed Farke, and he was frustrated with the lack of movement, but we're competing with teams consistently in Europe. I do believe we'll get the additional quality. Yeah, I think we will. I think we'll get exactly what Farke wants and 49ers want in terms of the level of player in the positions. I don't think we get 5, but I think we tick every box we need. And I think give it a couple of weeks' time, we'll all look back and go, that were almost a 10 out of 10 window. I genuinely believe it. We haven't had to worry about his best players leaving this season, which has been great. Being Leeds United, we've been stripped bare of his top assets, year after year for as long as I can remember. His best players are staying at Leeds. We got promoted. There's no reason to move on. We'll see where we are in a year or two. But right now, we haven't had to worry about any of his top players leaving. If Farke and a lone player with Solomon going back, it's worse that can happen. It's not bad going, is it? When you consider what Burnley's lost, when you consider what Sunderland lost, we're in a good position. We really are. Play Tanaka in the 10, absolutely insane player. Yeah, it's not going to happen, but it would be nice to see what we can do a bit further forward. We saw in and around the box last year, he got some goals, like 3 goals. That one against Hull, away at Hull, top corner, edge area. Always remember that. Really, a game as well, we did a little spin, wasn't there? Did like a 360, then played someone through on edge area. It looks great when he's in and around box. Well, the stats ain't great. Yeah, but they've seen something in him, haven't they? They've seen something in him. But I don't see us getting him anywhere. His stats per 90 and per touch, I would say. Yeah, maybe that's where you're going wrong with that, Sean. I think when you look at the minutes he's played, a bit like Ramazani, the minutes, not the games. I think per 90 that it's really good as his GNA, but compared to the games, I think he got a lot of sub appearances, I think, last season. But so if you're looking just at the games he's played, it won't look good. Walker Peters wouldn't come as backup. Yeah, well, maybe not, but we won't sell it as backup. If we'd have brought in Walker Peters, Wayne, 3 weeks ago when Farke had left, and there were only Bogle and Byram and Schmidt, Walker Peters wouldn't have been coming as backup. There's no way would Walker Peters go, I ain't going to Leeds because I've got Jadon Bogle and Byram and Schmidt. Oh, I ain't risking that. Do you know what I mean? There's no way. He wouldn't. I don't think Walker Peters would even be put off by Bogle. He wouldn't be. And Bogle, I love him. I think he's one of our best players. Yeah, Bogle for England. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, Walker Peters wouldn't have looked at Bogle 3 weeks ago and I can't get past him. He would have done his play for England. He would not saying he would have done, but he'd have thought he wouldn't. He would have backed himself to pass Bogle 100%. Definitely fill that left back spot if needed because he's played a lot of left back too, even though he's a right back. But yeah, he's gone to West Ham, I think. We just need players to win bottom of the table and stop going on about Bamford. He's only hey up Rod Jones. Yeah, Bamford. Yeah, I think you're first to mention him tonight, actually. You brought him up. You brought him up. You bugger, that's on you, that. Class. I actually want to, one sec. Yes, we love you. And that poll, I want to put another poll in here. I want to know. One sec, I must have this poll. So, just put in a poll because I'm really interested, right? Who would you start at 9 currently? Pittawar and Metche, just giving you 2 options. I'd love to know. Who would you start currently? Let me know in the poll. Obviously, we want to bring in a 9. We probably will bring a 9 in. But yeah, I'd love to know what you think currently because my pick will be a Metche. And I love Pitto, but I've always said Pitto's great off at bench as well. Could imagine a Metche playing 60 minutes, been very difficult for defenders, been a handful for defenders, then Pitto coming on when games a bit more stretched. Anything sort of landed in box, I'd back him up here, even though we're upper level. I think Solomon is in our back pocket. I agree, Githy Yankee. When Frank was asked about Son leaving, he mentioned 3 players in the academy. Didn't say Solomon. Oh, is that true, really? If you want him, we can get him, even if alone. Well, when I saw Son leaving, I was like, well, that's a nail in coffin. But then again, also, a little voice in the back of my head saying, well, they're not going to replace Son with Solomon. But I did think losing someone like Son, maybe Solomon sticks around. But apparently he's not been playing. I haven't kept any tabs on what Spurs have been doing. Apparently Solomon hasn't had many minutes in pre-season. Obviously, if he has said something like that too, which I'm sure he has, then he's got to look elsewhere. And where else he got to look, Let's be fair. If we'd have got the deal done for Pajau, Solomon wouldn't have been, anywhere near coming to us. Then he'd have had to look elsewhere. But I think we know he's there. I think he knows we're there. And I've always said, if we don't have, you know, if we haven't brought someone in of sufficient quality, come the end of the window, I reckon we get Solomon done. And I think if you are talking for 17, 18 million quid, I think we just pay it. We know we've got the money. Solomon's injured again. Don't know how bad it is though. Well, I've not heard out about it being too bad, so I don't think. Not that I'd heard out. We've not been our player, but Tanaka looked pissed off at Farke at the end of the game. Oh, did he win? Let's say that, mate. By the way, Stacky's class be worth 40 plus. Is that what you think, Adam? I think he's going to be one of the best players we've signed to. I think he's going to be absolute class. I tell you what, right? Bit of a weird one. There was that free kick we got, wasn't there? Out towards, in between corner flag and edge at box, almost on line. And he whipped in a deadly ball, didn't he? An absolute stunning ball. Fizzed it in, and I think Roden at back post just missed it. If he connects with that, it's a goal. Unbelievable ball, right? Bit too much pace in it, fair enough. Is it not a concern, right? It's a good thing if he's good at set pieces, don't get me wrong, but surely at 6'5", 6'6", whatever Stack is, he should be in the box, no? Like, I was very surprised to see him taking a free kick on edge area and him being tallest player on pitch and him taking the free kick. And like I say, don't get me wrong, he's great with ball at his feet. He's technically a great footballer, which for size of him, fair play, you know. We've seen people at that height like Peter Crouch, and we look like, you know, Bambi on ice. Rutter, who were a fair few inches shorter than him, but he looks solid, he looks great, he's great with ball at his feet, but I just would have expected him to be in the box, trying to get on the end of a free kick, as opposed to taking the free kick himself. Don't know what you guys think of that, but when I seen him line up, oh, what's going on here? Then I saw the delivery and I thought, fair enough. But ideally, we need somebody else who can deliver a ball like that. And you want a 6'6" bloke in box, don't you? It's crazy that it's like having Rafinha on chuffing throw-ins. It felt that mad until I saw the delivery, and I thought, I sort of understand it now. But let's bring a proper set piece taker and who means we can push someone like that into box, gives them more chance of scoring. But yeah, it was a cracking one. Yeah, Perry not playing was disappointing. But seeing Millie, I had kittens. Didn't someone say Millie nearly wiped out one of his own? Cairns could have played instead. Nah, I don't think they're going to play Cairns. I think while ever Perry's injured and it's pre-season, they probably do test them both out. Mellier, I don't think he would have fought for first goal at all. He did clear Goodmanson out, but again, he looked a bit flappy. Did he have to come? I'm not too sure. Yeah, I don't know. I felt like he was a bit harsh if anyone would blame Mellier yesterday. He doesn't instill confidence in anybody, fans or players on pitch. That's a fact. What I'll say is Darlow is way ahead of Mellier in terms of quality now. He made a great save in that first half from that header. Did Carl Darlow? It looks a great backup. You know, from where he was 12 months ago, where we didn't even think he was good. Well, I did, but you know, I've seen people online and stuff saying that he weren't even good enough backup in Championship, and they were worried, you know, about him playing for Mellier. Then Mellier got so intangible for Mellier to play. Everyone were happy to see Darlow come in, but before that, there were a lot of murmurs saying he wasn't good enough. After a couple of League Cup games and stuff like that, saying he weren't good enough year before. But for me, he's improved his level. He looks fantastic. They've heavily focused on him at media team in pre-season training, in pre-season matches. He's played a lot of minutes in pre-season. Definitely great backup, and he's way ahead of Mellier. Way ahead. Schmidt not prem material. Aronson definitely man of the match yesterday. See what Harrison will do for Goodmanson. His best left back. I agree with Schmidt not being prem mate, and Aronson man of the match probably was yesterday. Harrison will do for Goodmanson his best left back. I don't want to hear Harrison's name anymore, to be honest. Just want him gone, I really do. Ironic that in May Solomon was class. Now he's a compromised player. I still believe Leeds fans. Leeds have irons in the fire, so not overly concerned. MOT. Yeah, I agree, Mark. I agree. Yeah, thanks, mate. We're all well and good, mate. Hope you and yours are too, buddy. Mr. Go question: why don't we try sign Haaland? He's a Leeds fan. He said about 6 years ago his dream to win the Premier League with Leeds when he was in Germany. Is that a serious question, Mr. Gold? Are you pulling me? You know what? Like, yeah, money. Where we are, we're not going to win Premier League anytime soon. The dream would be get him towards the end of his career if he's still a good enough player, I guess, mate. But yeah, it can't be a serious question. But I wouldn't have thought we're nowhere near having players like Haaland play for us, unfortunately, mate. Being a Leeds fan's one thing, mate, but yeah, you've got to be. at the same level as a club, and he's way ahead of where our club is at the minute, mate, unfortunately. I think Solomon is too risky. I know he stayed most of it last season, but he's injured again. Aina, nice to hear from you, buddy. Hope you're well. I get what you mean. I also just think we should do it because I just back him not to be injured. We managed him really well. Maybe, I know it's just my opinion, maybe it's a new manager at Tottenham, Frank. I know the background staff and all that will know who Solomon is, but maybe it's pre-season training. You hit him hard, obviously in pre-season training, get him up to your level. Thomas Frank works him very hard. So I've heard he's a top operator, Thomas Frank. I think he'll do really well at Spurs. Really like him actually as a manager. Hated him as a person once upon a time. He was a bit of a twat when he Leeds and Brentford rivalry. But I don't mind him as a coach. I think he's top draw. He'll go right to the top of the game with Frank. It's not too hard to overly push in pre-season and tweak something, pull something. Leeds know how to get Solomon on the pitch. So maybe there's a little bit of that. Maybe there's a bit of that. Pushing a bit too hard in pre-season, trying to impress. Leeds manages minutes maybe. Ramazani should get more minutes. He should have got more minutes last season, and I'll always say that. Don't matter, 100 points, Solomon gets winning goal and all that. I get all that. But for me, Ramazani, there were times Ramazani should have played more minutes. He was criminally played, less than 1,000 minutes for quality he's got. It's a worry that he plays even less because we're going up in quality. Playing in Prem now, will he get less minutes? Maybe. But, there's an argument to say if we do bring Solomon in, you take that load off him by playing Ramazani more as well, Interchange him. He doesn't have to play every game. But I get what you're saying. Stay up this season. Next summer's window, we will try in next level. Yeah, I'm sort of looking at that thinking, I don't think we're going to get a Muniz and a Pajal level up top. I think we may have to compromise somewhere just to get the bodies in the door. But that doesn't mean there won't be good quality. There might just not be that next level up. Hey, up Tezza. Skip, we have strength and power in the middle. But we seriously like creative. Yeah, we do, mate. We do. And a 4-3-3 is usually going to look that way as well. You're not going to have... Playing a 4-2-3-1, you always have that creative element to your side. Or, we played Aronson there last year. But if you bring in someone, you always give yourself a good chance, don't you, for that creative spark to stand out. But I think we sacrificed that to be harder to beat. Are we going to go and smash people for Park 3s and 4s nils? We're not. Can we get the odd draw where we should probably lose? Can we sneak a win in these games as well? And I think taking games deep into taking teams deep into a game, and then trying to nick it later on. I think it's great tactic. I really do. Been a lot of games last season before when I thought 4-3-3 would have worked in certain circumstances. Southampton, whenever we played Southampton, I thought we needed to do it, we never did. So I'm happy he's adapting. But yeah, it may not be the most exciting stuff at times, but what will be exciting will become May staying up in division, and looking again, and then next season improve again in certain areas that maybe we feel like we're lacking, and maybe next season, we can go out there and sign a couple of top draw options because now we're not established, but now we're not the favourites to go down no more because technically the 3 that come up probably will be. If we stay up, we won't be favourites anymore. Then you start having these players look at us a bit differently than what they are now. Richard Cook, are our players actually good, or is it just Leeds fans hyping them up? Never hear anyone else from the outside saying that's a class signing by Leeds. I've seen a lot of people say Stack's a good signing, but yeah, I think it's just normal, mate. Richard, when we sign someone, we do his research. Do Sunderland fans go, say, "Oh, Leeds have signed Stack"? Well, have a right good look at him. Probably not. We probably look where we need to look to feel better about a player. If we're honest, I look at Sunderland's business and think I'm not arsed. Yet, if we'd have signed Diarra, I'd have been over the moon. But now I'm not bothered. I think you ultimately bend the truth a little bit to suit your narrative as a fan, don't you? Make you feel better and you sleep better at night. So maybe we inflate the quality of a player based on us wanting them to be good. That's probably something in that, Richard, I won't lie. But looking at the actual detail, the eye test and the actual, stats of players we have signed, I'm fairly happy that they're decent level. They've all played international football, bar Longstaff, and I don't expect him to play for England. But look at the games he's played in Prem. So I think we've ticked a lot of boxes. I think we've covered a lot of positions with great quality, I do, and depth. But There probably is something in that. You're right. I love that. It's fair. It's probably right, to be fair. Papa Gate is a beast of a DM, by the way. Okay, up, mate. You know my knowledge of all players is pretty poor. Rob Brookie, this forward we all want. He doesn't need boatloads of goals, just needs to hold up the ball, supply our wingers and midfielders. 10 goals would be a lot. My fancy it. I could do that, mate. Could do that. It's a fruit and veg I couldn't do for a week, mate. To get me there on a Saturday. The play is just described there, though, Brookie. For me, he's a Metcher. It's just his fitness in it. But then again, you could spend 40 million quid on a player tomorrow and he get injured. You know, just because he's been injured, don't mean he's going to be injured again. It don't mean he's going to be injuries are going to follow him for the rest of his career. It doesn't mean that. So the play you've just described there for me is a Metcher. And Metcher. I can't wait just to actually find out what his actual name is because I've heard it pronounced that many times. But yeah, I think it's literally what you just said there, mate. Yeah, I've seen that, Danny. No, I don't think so either. Yeah, I thought it was you, Sean, who said that to me before, mate. Is young Gray taking Joseph's role off the bench? I don't think he is, mate. I don't think he is. I think the Joseph role, he was second choice last season. There's every chance that's Piddo this year. And then in Metchers, I've got Bamford's role. I don't think he gets any game time in Premier League unless he's, serious injuries. He did, Nige. He did. And we all said last season he wanted 10. I actually thought, we're going to play off the left, even last season. And he played off the right yesterday. He played well. Whether you like him or not, you've got to, if you're going to put him down when he plays poorly, and rightly so, criticise when he's poorly, you've got to give him his props when he plays all right. And for me, he probably is one of the standouts yesterday. He really was. He always will, Andy. It'll always let him down. That's why you don't want him as a long-term option, do you? You don't want him in there week in, week out. Hey, up, Wayne. Hi, chat. Leeds will prove I was wrong this season. Plus, the transfer window hasn't ended yet. Yeah, I agree, mate. No, there were a couple of times in that game, where he actually battled and won ball back, and I was there going, all right, go on, lad. He actually did show a little bit yesterday. He had crowd getting up for it when he won ball back. He was sound. He was sound yesterday. It'd be Ampadu, Tanaka, and Stack. Longstaff was poor on Saturday. I don't think he was poor, Sean. I don't think what were you expecting from him? Longstaff did Longstaff things. Do you know what I mean? He just did. I think he's sound, mate. Longstaff. I think he played well. Yeah, no, he is, mate. He is. But if we play 4-2-3-1 at times and we haven't got a 10. Would you be surprised to see him there again? I wouldn't. We saw him there all last season. He can play either, can't he, really? It's just whether he can play to a decent level in your eyes, which most people say no. Who's a captain if Amps doesn't start? That's a big question, isn't it? Because the vice captain Strauch won't start. Mellier's been vice captain and he won't be in team either. So honestly, a Rodon, maybe a Bogle. Do you give it a Tanaka, a Stack? It could be a new sign, Longstaff. Maybe it's a toughie. Yeah, I agree, Nige. It's a worry for me. He's gonna have to play bloody well to get winners over. He really is. Looks like James Justin is done. Was in their team today. Yeah, I don't think he's coming, mate. He ain't coming. He wasn't in their team. I don't think he's coming, pal. Liam Cooper, Suvey Hyde. Yeah, Mark, Suvey. He'd be sound at Championship. And that's why I expect him to end up. Ricardo, Pepe. I can't pronounce that name, mate. Raspadori, Adzik, Moretti. We need to start looking at negotiating multiple deals at a time. You don't think they are, though, Boss Nass? You don't think they are? Do you reckon they just go one target all out and move on? I would say I don't know. I think Sunderland do it. Sunderland do multiple at a time, don't they? Because they get a deal done, and within another 24, 40 hours, they're close to another deal, if not got another one done. Yeah, I've seen that name a lot as well, mate. I've seen that name a lot. Again, I don't know much about him. Cooper, a Wrexham, imagine. Yeah, Danny talks Leeds. Imagine not being Leeds. We now know why Farke played Schmidt on the wing last season as he ain't a fullback. Yeah, very true, mate. Very, very true. David, good all. Hi, mate. Great show. Need freeing for me. Farke didn't seem happy afterwards, especially seeing our forward line. He's not. Yeah, cheers, David. Thanks a lot for that, mate. Yeah, it was evident, wasn't it? He's really happy with the starting defence, the starting midfield, but he's not happy with up top. We've scored goals in pre-season, decent amount of goals in the easier fixtures, the behind closed doors friendlies against Paderborn and the other one, but against a German opposition we should be beating. And then we've scored one against Scum and Villarreal, 2 games, 2 decent opposition, give or take. And it's been a lot harder to create, so I get where he's coming from. And he'll be really frustrated the Pajau deal didn't happen, and that isn't down to anyone's fault. It's just down to the player's preference for me and where Leeds are as a club. But he knows, we all know, they know. If we know, they know. You know, we need that cutting edge up top. Because in Prem, it's so unforgiving, you know. You may have 1 or 2 chances, not put them away. Other team, you know, 90th minute, get half a chance and they put it away because they've got that next level player. I just think we've got a lot of players who'll prove people wrong and are of a decent level. But 100% as a fan base, we want that next bracket up just to give us that bit of confidence going in. I think so, Nige. They've lost the last 3. Lost 3-0 away at Hearts, lost 2-1 away at Hull, and lost 1-0 against Real Betis. I don't know if they had a game before the Hearts game. And I know people are saying pre-season, it's pre-season, it doesn't matter. You know, that's what their fans are all saying, it's pre-season, it doesn't matter. But it's a game of football. Are you telling me Granit Xhaka, I think the captain Sunderland yesterday, is walking off losing to Betis? Oh, Betis, if he's won, you're going to lose. Fair enough. Walking off against Stadium of Light after playing, you know, a game of football, regardless, it's a game of football. As he walked off and been like, yeah, I'm happy we lost that. Is he heck? Getting changed, there'll be a lot of fucking this and fucking that. And it's a game of football. Of course I want to win. Going away at Hearts and losing with a decent lineup as well, by the way, Sunderland. Pre-season, I know, but also winning is a habit, just like losing is a habit. And we've seen as a Leeds fans before, you know, going into a season, you know, losing back to back. We had a really poor season under Bielsa, and I'm sure we took that into the season as well. You'd much rather be winning, drawing, looking good. Those partnerships, you know what they go, yeah, but it's more the eye test, more getting your partnerships, you know, together and making sure they all work together. That's fine, but they're not working because you're losing. You know, ours are working because we're getting results. So that's how I sort of look at it. I don't see how you can lose, you know, all your pre-season games and expect to go into the first game of the season. Oh, there you go. We've won now. You know, we put to bed those few losses. We lost them to win this one. I don't think it works like that. It's a game of football. It's a game of football. And you need to be winning them all, or at least be, you know, not losing 3 on a bounce. It's just a rock that at this point for me. But we'll have to see. Maybe I'm talking shit with that. Callum Wilson, yeah, he's got to West Ham. Stack is going to be some signing. He is, mate. He's a head turner for me. He's a head turner. He's such a good player. Smash like, subscribe, please. Yeah, there's some links in the chat that Danny's put in, and they'll put them in again before end. Please check out my mate's channels. But yeah, please like, please subscribe. There's 118 currently in the building. Really appreciate it. Got 98 likes, 2 more off 100. That's that. Honestly, thanks so much for doing that. It pushes the algorithm and gets more eyes on me, which is brilliant. So thanks for that. Craig Smith, Gudmundsson is a brilliant addition, and I wouldn't rule out Gruev in midfield with his defensive awareness down the left side. Plenty of games this season. Stack will be vital. Superb side. Stack, unreal. Gruev, been one of the standouts in pre-season so far. Write him off at your peril, mate. Yeah, fair enough. And Gudmundsson looks great. He does. He looks not as attacking as Firpo, which is probably a good thing, but better than Firpo at back. A bit more balanced, although he is, you know, very forward-thinking fullback. I just think he's not going to get caught out as much, and I think he's a little bit tidier at back. Not yet, mate. He's not. No, not yet. Bring back Paddy. Thank you, Matty. Not sweating on striker, more concerned about winger and fullback. Yeah, that's me, mate. A minute. That's me. Larry Pinkey up, mate. 70 million for Solomon would be great business. He knows the players and stuff. That's the thing as well. He's Prem proven. He's done it in Prem. He's done it in Europe. And he comes straight in and he knows the system. He's somebody you could sign, if fit, Larry, you could sign in 2 days before Everton and he could start. And I know 4-2-3-1 may have changed to a 4-3-3, but he knows players, he knows system, he knows fans, he knows expectation, he knows everything. You could sign him 48 hours before Everton and he'd start and he'd be fine. So I agree with that, mate. There's something in that 100%. Like I say, I've not done much research on him, mate, but I know I've seen name mentioned a few times. Zidane would have been a terrible player if we looked at his stats. Yeah, maybe the eye test on some of those players from back in my day. Oh my God, the Zidanes and the Figos, and those some right players. Yeah, that's just reminding me. Have a quick look at this poll. Let me have a look at this poll, see what you're saying. Oh, you all think Pirro? Never. I thought you'd all say a Metcha. I'm gonna lie. I thought you'd say a Metcha. Well, fair enough. Pirro's winning it so far. What's it saying there? 66% think Pirro will start. Fair enough. Metcha, because he can hold up the ball. I think Metcha starting, Pirro off the bench would be better. I think Solomon is injured. Solomon is out till the end of August. Ooh, okay. Yeah, maybe. But then again, would you be surprised, lads, if we were to sign Solomon? We've signed a couple of players, haven't we? Who or Perry anyway is one of them. Shaw's been another one as well who isn't fit as we're signing them. Oh well, Pajal was the one we were trying to sign Pajal when he was out injured. Perry. So end of August, couple of 2, 3, 4 weeks. Is it end at world? You know what you're going to get when he's fit. Yeah, I'm not too sure Leeds will turn away from that because he's got a bit of a knock when we were going to try to sign Pajal, won't we? Going into the window for me would be Justin or Maitland-Niles. Yeah, I'd have him too. Uche, backward, and a good striker, ideally loan for me. I tell you what, those names you banged out there, BMG, I'd be buzzing with all them. Say, I have a good authority through Adam that James Justin's not happening. But again, who knows? I hope he's wrong because I'd love James Justin. I really would. He's come back fit, look good in pre-season. I think Pirro, yeah. I mean, I just think the Metch is a great option to start, and Pirro off the bench has always worked wonders. But again, I absolutely love Pirro, and I think he'll do well this season. And he's firing in. What's he got? 4 goals in 4 games, and he's not playing every minute of every game. Pretty good return in pre-season. That where you look at Sunderland and they're playing Mayenda up front, and their striker can't buy a goal. But yeah, don't get me wrong, they may go out there and splash 25, 30 million down on a top draw striker because this is what Sunderland doing at the minute. But we've got a striker that people can write off at the peril that the Premier League defenders maybe don't know much about because he's not been there. They'll do the research, they'll look at it game by game when they're playing, that's fair enough. But maybe he'll be a little bit of an odd commodity, Pirro, because he is a bit of a different striker. So maybe he can catch people out with that. It's a bit deflating and not showing progress if we get Solomon. Yes, he was excellent last season. Of course, I don't expect top tier, but I expect a level above Solomon now. Sorry. Hey, don't say sorry. I fully understand what you're saying. And what I would say is the club have shown the ambition to get that player. But I say time's running out. I'm still quite coy on it. I'm still quite easy and quite happy with where we are and for how long we've got left at window. But we haven't got that player in as of yet, and we've had a hell of a lot more time to do that than what's left at window. So there will be, I would assume, 1 or 2 more of that caliber of player. But if we can't get, for me, if you've got a player of that caliber going to Marseille, yeah, they're in Europe, but to Marseille, coming from Eredivisie, which is a poor level of football for me compared to, I think some top championship sides would be pushing to win that league. Yeah, you've got a couple of sides there who are decent. You can't get him, and he's picking Marseille, European football. But there's a lot of other sides going for players who, are in Europe who are bigger than Marseille and have chances of winning the title as well. Because for me, I know Marseille are the top side in France, but you're not going to win with PSG over there. Maybe a cup, who knows? But yeah, it's a difficult one. It's a difficult one. But I would be really happy with Solomon. There's an argument to say Solomon dropped down for champ, so he ain't really a step down going up with him. You know what I mean? Like I think all our wingers last season we're playing at a level under what they're capable of. So I think they're probably where they need to be. A newly promoted Premier League side, all 4 of them are good enough for that in my eyes, mate. I respect what you're saying. Craig Smith, the transfer fun and games will go right to the early hours of Tuesday, the 2nd of September. So drama the Premier League. Do you know what it is? I actually think we don't want to do that. I think we've shown eagerness to get us deals done early enough. It just depends on the level we are wanting. Like I say, Solomon can probably be done whenever we choose. A striker, if we're going to hold out, I could see it. If we don't bring a striker in it next week, I reckon it's all going to be Muniz those last 24 hours at window. And I think we'll miss out on him. So that's why I'm in my head, I'm sort of trying to get myself mentally prepared for not bringing a striker in, or not bringing in a striker of sufficient quality that people have been thinking we're going to get. So we'll have to see. But yeah, I did think there'd be nothing happening on deadline day because I thought, yeah, we're going right way. We're going to have naught to do. And knowing now we're going for that next bracket of player and seeing how hard it want to get him in, I think it could go down to wire for the last player, maybe last 2. Yeah, set piece got to be decent, wouldn't it? Giffy Yankee. Pirro does look levelled up. Fitness is sharp. He's in the goals. Problem is, he isn't going to bring us up the pitch when we are under the cosh. We need a profile like a Metro against. Yeah, I think so. You say it's not annoying me, but we need a profile of a Metro. But we've got a Metro. That he is the profile. It's just people aren't backing him to stay fit, and I just think it's such a shitty tag to sort of get off your back when you've had a really bad injury season, or you've had a couple of knocks that have kept you out. We've seen, and I think as Leeds fans having Paddy, that sort of burnt us a little bit, thinking, you just couldn't get right. I just don't think it means it's same for everybody. Say we need a profile like a Metro. We've actually got a Metro. We don't need a profile like him. We've got him. There's no sure thing coming in that they won't get an injury. Do you get what I mean? Like 12 months ago, maybe there were no fears about a Metro, and then he gets an injury. You think, he doesn't look like he's carrying any sort of injury or niggle now. He looks decent. So I just don't like that tag of I was injured last season. He's had a few. He's only 26. He's I get what you're saying. You just want a sure thing that a Metro really is going to be fit. So if you can guarantee there's a player that's never been injured before and fits that mould, I sort of see where you're going with it. But I think we've got him. Let's just back him and let's not stress and worry about something that might never happen. Which is he might not have a bad serious injury. He might not. Could see Pirro against Everton though. Yeah, I think I could see him against Everton. Then again, you go away to Arsenal game after, and I can see him Metro up top, just like my mate's just said there. So 100%. Michael got. I think the newborn and Farke really wanted Solomon. They'd have gone back for him by now. I think he's not in our plans. Really. Oh, really? I think he's on list, Michael. I just think he's way down list. We knew that Frank wanted to have a look at him. He hadn't played him much, but we know Frank wanted to have a look at him. So I think we were kind of chilled on it. We knew no one were going to come in, early in the window and snap him up. They were going to have a look at him. And he knows we're there and we know he's there. So I think we're just cool on it. I 100% think he's in our plans. If I'm honest, if you're asking me right now, I think we end up with Solomon. I think we get Solomon. It's gone quiet on everybody else now. I can just see us getting him, towards the back end of the window. Whether he's got a knock or not, we'll have to see. Danny Torchley, breaking news. Leeds signed Castleford's own. Fucking hell. Matty Foster medical booked for 2027 after Matty Foster has an injury at the Content Creators Cup. Price we paid in a Tesco meal deal. Yeah, but what meal deal, mate? From Fabrizio Romano. Fabrizio Matano is what it is, mate. Did you go to the Legend game today, mate? No, I didn't, mate. I didn't know the one, pal, to be honest, actually. No Leaf Davis and need a sub. Yeah, no Leaf Davis. Matty has said if he doesn't get a Greg steak bake in his clause, he won't come. Don't like steak bakes, mate. Sausage, bean and cheese melt. But if you get them cold, vile, innit? Vile. Mad. Same thing. Cold, not asked for it. Won't touch it. Warm, hot. But he'd die for that shit. Nearly signed Maradona. I've heard that too, mate. Yeah, I heard that too. if we can just do better than 3 Prem teams, that will do for me. I don't care as long as we stay up. Yeah, Priestley said it the other night, speaking to him, mate, you know, we could lose 20 games of football. We could lose 20 games, win 10 and draw 6 and probably maybe stay up with that. Imagine losing 20 games of football. Feels awful, doesn't it? There'll be loads of mourning, loads of meltdowns, but we might still stay up with that. Mad. I think we will be in the transfer window in January in a panic. I hope you're wrong too, mate. Give Harrison his flowers. Yeah, he did, mate. He did really well. Hopefully a big week this week. It's gone quiet with the 49, so hopefully it will be like last time when we signed free. Really? Probably didn't know who he was. We missed some of it. Would you have him back? I wouldn't. Unless Leeds are signing Salah and Haaland, I don't want Pirro playing second fiddle to Mitchell like last year's Joseph. Pirro is vital to play 10-minute cameos. Pirro is too vital to play. Yeah, I mean, he should never be playing 10-minute cameos. I love Pirro, I do. But like I say, I'm really becoming very happy with Mecha too. Again, at the minute, it seems like decent competition up top, but a lot of people want more, and I understand that. Some links in chat here. Please check out Danny Rumsey's channel, please, on there. Danny Talks Leeds, top guy, passion for Leeds. Really would love you to go check out Marching with Sean. I think he's about 10 subscribers or 50, and then he can start doing lives. I really want to see Sean Ely do lives. You all know who Sean Ely is. Get over there and give Sean Ely a subscribe, please. I want to see his lives. He's doing these little videos at the minute, which are great. But yeah, he needs to be doing lives. He only needs 10 subs, I think. I'm sure we can do 170 here now. Give him 10 subs. That's all he needs. Wilco Whites might be 11 subs. So get over and check Wilco Whites, my mate Sean. Carney, full time to talk. Yeah, please at the links. Brian Keane, I missed the live. For fuck's sake. Are we talking about Bamford yet? He does Tesco's. Is Harrison the Snake gone yet? And any news on a striker? We're not talking about Bamford, mate. He's done for me. He's done for Farke by the sounds of it. Harrison the Snake is still there. He didn't play on Saturday, obviously, but apparently he had a niggle. I also think it was that true, or was it just, can you imagine putting him out at Ellen Road at minute? Not too sure. Any news on a striker? Absolutely none, Brian. Absolutely none, mate. Pirro to kick on, says Martin Cook. He's young, he's Dutch, he's completely lethal and unflappable. Yeah, that's a great word. Very great word. Unflappable. You see him on pens, proper cool. You know, they used to call Melier the Iceman, didn't they? Which were mental. But yeah, Pirro, always cool as a cucumber, and he never looks flustered. Always has a game face on. Yeah, I agree with that, actually. John Pepper, I've said from the beginning we needed to get the main players in striker and goalkeeper. We've got the goalkeeper, yeah. We have, and that's a big one. I like him at Chur, got German cap, so he's clearly been a player with potential. Yeah, he has, mate. So he stays injury free, then there's a conversation that he's a starting striker, that he's his best striker. There's a conversation for it. But Pirro probably deserves to start currently 100%. Solomon isn't worth 20 million. Well, I'd pay 20 for Solomon, but that's just me. But yeah, I understand the argument, the fitness and all that as well. But it's going to be in and around that, I think, if we get him. I think Leeds would pay 20 million for Solomon. I do. I prefer the money spent on Bilal or a striker or a proper loan deal. Yeah, so I'm interested to see what happens with Bilal in it. Bilal at El Canoes. I'd love to get him through the door. Really would. Michael got just subscribe to Sean's site. Yeah, good lad. Subscribe to Sean. Lovely. Say the other links in there as well. I know you guys probably already seen Danny's and Wilco Wise and stuff like that. But yeah, check them all out. But yeah, I'd love to get Sean Ely at 50. Really nice for him to be able to get some lives out there. We know what Sean's like. He likes getting that wooden spoon out, doesn't he? Good guys. One of good ones. Can you see us going back down after all the ambition the 49ers have shown? We just need to stay up hard. No, I just don't see it, mate. I don't see it. I don't see an Anton Stack being a championship player next season. I just don't see a Sean Longstaff being a championship player next season. And I'll tell you what, we won't have loan clauses or relegation and stuff like that in contracts anymore. So the project's been sold to some of these players who I think are very, very good additions for a side like us. Like for me, Longstaff wouldn't sign for Burnley. Stack wouldn't sign for Burnley. No way. Could you imagine Stack signing for Burnley? Could you imagine Pajau even being in the discussion to go to Burnley? There's a level to newly promoted sides, and Leeds are in that bracket above, your Burnleys and stuff like that. A bit of a hot take, I'd say, is I could easily, I could see Leeds and Sunderland both staying up. I do think Sunderland are way off it still, even though they've spent a lot of money and they've brought in a lot of players and they've brought some good players, Xhaka, etc. I think Sunderland aren't as good as what Sunderland fans think they are. And I actually think Leeds are better than what some Leeds fans think we are. A very, very good mood at the minute with Leeds. And, I have been for a while now. And like I say, what we've done is there to be seen. And what we've tried to do, we've seen it. We were there. We were living in moment last week thinking we were going to get Pajau. So I don't see what else the 49ers can do to persuade you that, that we're going to be doing bits this season. I'm going to say bits, that's staying up. So did you see how empty the Stadium of Light was yesterday? It looked like a COVID game. To be fair, mate, I haven't seen the highlights, and I'm surprised you said that. It is like a 50,000 seater. If they only had 40,000 show up, it'd probably look like there were empty seats everywhere. 10, 12,000 seats is a lot in it not to be filled. So I don't know. I can't back that up, but I'm not too sure. But I know it'll be full. Kick off the season. Metcha turned down Burnley to come with us, did he? Richard Wood thought, I will subscribe to Sean Healy if you ask me to. Well, that's between you guys. I love that. With all the investment, various investors and future stadium upgrades, I can't see the new board putting us up. Yeah, 100%, Michael. Too much riding on it. They're doing all they can. And just say there's 106 people in here watching. Thanks so much, honestly. The fact that I get around 100 people watching now, it blows my mind. Thanks so much for everyone who continues to come back whenever I come live. It means the world. I'm currently on 113 likes, which I don't think that's ever happened before. I've got more likes than people currently watching, which is unreal. But yeah, if you're in this 107 watching currently, please smash a like if you haven't already, and please subscribe. Keep the channel growing, getting seen by more people. Big love, man. Love you all. Brett 89, friendlies mean nothing as there's no job. I get that. Maybe I'm just cut a little bit different, cut from a different cloth. The Millwall game in FA Cup, and I know FA Cup isn't a friendly. FA Cup is massive. It's not as massive as it should be in my eyes, and a lot of fans weren't asked. We got knocked out. I was fuming. For me, any game of football, you should be winning it. You think, man, you've got to think. I know it sounds trivial, right? But lads have gone to the game. They've done the warm-ups. They've worked hard all pre-season. They're there putting the shin pads on, pulling the socks up in changing room, create atmosphere, building at Ellen Road. They don't want to go out there and get beat, do they? They don't. So Sunderland playing Betis at home, decent level, to get beat again. Going to Hearts, travelling to Scotland. It's not far, no, but still it's a fuck about, innit? You wouldn't go if you thought you were going to get beat 3-0. You just say, I can't be arsed going. You go to Hull, lose 2-1. I don't think it's as simple as it doesn't mean out. It doesn't mean out in terms of, points, money, trophy. It doesn't mean all that. But in terms of a player going out your way 3, 4, 5 games in pre-season to lose all of them, how does that give you confidence then going into the first game of the season thinking, we're playing fucking West Ham today. We'll beat these. Away at West Ham. I don't know who they've got to say away at West Ham. You've fucking been beat 3-0 at Hearts. So I think there's something in it. It's a game of football at the end of the day. 11v11. You're always trying to win. You may not go in as hard. There's no, I understand the whole jeopardy. There's no nerves. There's no massive excitement maybe because it's just a friendly. But still, a full-time whistle, you'd rather won it. You'd have rather won it. It definitely it builds a winning culture. Your pre-season is your foundation for what's to come. So if your foundations are to cock, you haven't got a solid structure. So I think you lay those foundations in pre-season, and then you kick on based on what you've built in pre-season. And I think if you play 3, 4, 5, 6 games in pre-season, and you haven't lost and you've won maybe 3 or 4 and drawn a couple, like what we're doing now, if we go beat Milan, we'll have won 3 and drawn 2, which I think we do beat Milan because I don't think it'll be fully strength side, but We avoid defeat to Milan. Great. It's what you want. It's what you need. Yeah, cheers, Danny, man. Good lad. There was more at Leeds yesterday than at Cardiff's first game of the season. In League One now, though, aren't there? No, thanks for your investment and time. Oh, thanks, Brookie. You're just jealous, mate, because you love me. How many Matty meltdowns are we going to get a season? I don't know, mate. I can't call it. I don't expect to win every game, though, so I actually think I'll be the knobhead content creator where everyone's like, stop being so happy. We've just been beat by Fulham 1-0. What are you happy about? I'm not happy, but I'm just not pissed off. Be interesting. Be interesting to see. It's gonna take a lot for me, I think, to lose my shit. It really is. Getting beat fucking by Millwall last season, I lost my head, as you know, mate. Millwall, I fucking couldn't stand it. It's gonna take a lot, mate. I think if we get beat by Sunderland, I'll probably lose my shit because obviously I do a show, don't I? We haven't been doing it as regular, but we're back on Tuesday actually for Bridging the Gap. Me and Wayne are only fools in SAFC, but it's going to be on Wayne's channel on Tuesday because it's alternate. We've had a few weeks off, but we've let the news and the sort of pre-season build up again. It's going to be a decent show on Tuesday on Wayne's channel. Because I'm just going to rib them the fact that they've been losing all the pre-season games. So I'll need a bit of our fan base over there in chat just to sort of balance it out. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to having that regular show with a Sunderland fan. I think it's very relevant at the minute with the signings. We're sort of, it's mad because we've got a sort of rivalry now with them, which probably shouldn't be there because we're rivaling every other team in league as well. And it's just the media and the transfer news. It's sort of made a bit of a thing of Leeds and Sunderland. But I still think we'll finish way above Sunderland. I do. 2 out of 3 roads of stadium. 2/3 of stadium closed due to work being okay. Captain Ahab 49ers won't be buying quality anytime soon. Based on what, mate? We tried. We tried with Pajau. I think we've seen enough ambition from them already to suggest that they've got the best interest at heart of the club for me. Football's back. Freebies matter a lot because you want all the new players. That's it. If you're losing, then something's not right on pitch. So I know it's not the be-all and end-all. But like for me, what I'd say with pre-season is if we'd have lost to Scum, which obviously I wouldn't have wanted, but say you lose your first one, you lose your second one, you draw your third, and then you win your last 2. I can go along with that. I can go along with we lost a couple of pre-season games. Yeah, but look at the trajectory of pre-season. Started off down here when they were all new play, and then it went up and as they gelled it. But like for Sunderland to lose, and then go into a Premier League game and expect a different result, I think mental. But yeah, losing in pre-season at the start of pre-season, I can go along with. But you want to better your results as you get to that first fixture, and the fact that we've sort of maintained a decent level, even those first few games, it stands in good stead for a great start to the season. It does. Captain Ahab, this season's going to be a shit show. Are you a Burnley fan? Because I agree. If you're a Burnley fan, if you're a Leeds fan, mate, I don't know why you think that. We've just drew 1-1. With a badly patched up side. That side we had yesterday, don't get me wrong, there were 7 or 8 in there that'll start, but no Bogle, massive drop-off. No James, massive drop-off. Fair few players missing there. That won't be a side, and we just drew against a side, mate, that finished 6 points behind Atletico Madrid last season. Yeah, well, look, I'm there next week. I'm there at week. I go on Friday. I can't wait. Brett 89. What I mean is players are overcautious as they don't want to risk it. Yeah, no, I get that, mate. 100%. Start season. Side note: Sunderland lost the last 6 league games last season as there was no jeopardy. Yeah, I know, and they came up for the playoffs, so it's not going to apply all the time. Because I would say before they won the playoffs, and I will have said, losing 6 games, you ain't going to win playoffs because you're out of form. There's no momentum. But obviously, on a given day, a game of football, they only had to win over 2 legs and then win 1 game and you're up, aren't you? So it can easily happen. 11 against 11 on a football field. Anyone can win on any given day. But there is definitely truth in the fact that momentum is massive. And if you're to lose 6 in a row, chances are you're not favourites to go up. And they weren't favourites. But they did a miracle. Leicester won bloody Premier League. Miracles happen, don't they? And fair play. But Yeah, I would rather see my side, even if they had a couple, I would just rather see that, you know, that upward curve of momentum going into the season. And for me, losing every week in pre-season is just isn't a great start. Yeah, I won't be happy. Yeah, no, they did. Like I say, they did on that one, mate. Can't wait for Matty's car reactions. Yeah, me and Priestley at home games. We need to get back to the car and see if we can do some Swansea comedy gold. That good, it even made a t-shirt. Go check me out. Yeah, he knows how to press my buttons, doesn't he? He knows how to press my buttons, does my mate Priestley. I think we lost all our pre-season games 1 year under BLC. Yeah, we did, mate. I remember that season. I couldn't remember if it was the first season in Prem, though, then we finished 9th, or was it the second season when we only brought in Firpo and James? Oh, that was first season anyway. Or was it the second season where we nearly got relegated and Bielsa got sacked? Was it that pre-season? Not too sure. I think we've gone for a deeper squad at most positions rather than what Sunderland have done. That will help us. Yeah, I agree, Michael. We've done a totally different strategical plan, haven't we? Martin Nolan, evening, Matt. Will you be in the Camden pre-match next Saturday? Looking forward to saying hello, but I don't mind. I don't know. Maybe. So I don't know where the Camden is in respect to the stadium I'm going to. What I'll say is the Friday, I can't remember where I'm staying now. My hotel. I'll tell you what, while you're on email, let me just see if I can find my hotel. See if I can find my hotel. I can tell you where I'm staying Friday, but I can't find it. I think it begins with B. Sure, it begins with B where I'm staying. Got that many bookings on here for stuff. Yeah, I'm not sure. Braesden or something like that. Braesden. I don't know. I'm staying somewhere else on Friday, and then Darren from Owen Leesborough's picking me up Saturday morning, and we're going to his house and then going to Dublin, I think, before game. So wherever Darren, Dylan, Jer, and Connor, wherever they're going, with Jer and Darren and Dylan being obviously from Dublin, I expect them to know best places to go pre-match. If the Camden, which I've heard is the best place to go, is the place they would go pre-match, Martin, then I'll see you there, because I am literally following the lads who know where they're going. So there's a chance they haven't said where we're going, but does that sound right to you? We'll be going to Dublin, I think, before we go to the game, and they always rave about the Camden. Does Darren and Dylan from On Leeds, bro. So I'm hoping I get to sample it. But if I'm honest, I couldn't tell you. Swansea Gold, what a vid that was. Yeah, it was a cracking vid, wasn't it? Yeah, I watched it back a few times. But 89, I don't see Leeds or Sunderland going down. Both have had strong winners and not finished yet. Yeah, and I'd say Sunderland fans are shocked at how ambitious they've been. I think it shocked us how ambitious Sunderland have been. But again, they've given themselves the best chance to stay up. And I think Leeds are trying that. I think Leeds have done great business. And like I say, we just need that couple, that cherry on top, though, with that little sprinkle of stardust. And I think a lot more fans will be a lot more confident. But I do think as a fan base, a lot of us have that rhetoric, Brett, that will stay up. Do we want a Canoes as he will be away for AFCON? Yeah, I mean, it's all right having 1 or 2, mate. Sunderland have got about 4 or 5, haven't they? El Canoes, I would 100% have him. I wouldn't want more than 1, though, if I'm honest, mate. Farke has gone back to his normal setup like last year. Your thoughts? Normal setup? Played a 4-3-3 yesterday, Richard, for me. They haven't said they were going. It's because you're all cycling to the stadium. Camden is central. Darren and Jer are defo going to the Camden. See you next week. Get in, Martin. Yeah, sound, mate. Yeah, I'll see you there then, Martin. Come and say hi. Yeah, like I say, I know I'm spending the day with him. He just ain't gone into nuts and bolts of what bars and what pubs. But he's leading the way Saturday morning, picking me up from the hotel. Yeah, I can't wait. Yeah, coming on the piss in Dublin next week, Matty. Then we do go over Temple Bar and ride the English hen parties. Oh, well, I'll be with wife, mate, so there'll be no hen parties for me. But yeah, anyone who's in Dublin next week, man, and you see us, come and say hi. I'd love to have a chat with you and a beer with you. Be class. I can't wait for it. Can't wait. Michael, got any more news on the big walk? My stop and meet points and date again. The date is the 6th of September, Saturday, 6th of September, so just over a month away. So meet points, stop and meet points, I haven't got them yet. If I'm honest, I've done it once before and we just walked the route and we stopped when we fancied stopping. I had to ask about, I will get an actual route planner and show you the exact route. So if anyone wants to meet en route, that would be great. If anybody wants to join, the walk, 43 miles from Old Trafford to Welland Road for 2 great charities. Please, please, please reach out to me on one of my socials. I really want a decent group. You know, I think we've got about 10 people who said they'll do it. But if I'm honest, and I love everybody that said they'll do it, you just never know if a couple drop out. I don't want it when it's just me and wife. Do you know what I mean? Arguing. Nah, she's a great support. Our lass will smash it. She did last time. But if anybody wants to join it, let me know. I would love that. And even if you just want to do 10 mile, you want to meet us at, I don't know, Huddersfield, Batley, Dewsbury on way in and do final stretch of us. If anybody wants to meet us at Ellen Road to give us someone to applaud us when we get there, because it's such a big thing we're doing, you know, raising money for Andy's Man Club and Leeds Autism Society, 2 charities close to my heart, as you know. I would love it. Anyone who wants to do it, and I am put the links in the chat. There hasn't been that much fundraising yet, as in people donating, because I spoke to Joe Blackburn, who obviously is great at fundraising and charity stuff. And he said you won't get that many donations until, you know, that week of. Or so I'm trying not to mention it all the time because it can get a little bit annoying when people, oh, charity, donate. So I will ramp that up as we get closer. But if anybody wants to join in that walk, Old Trafford to Welland Road, raising money for 2 great charities, hit me up on social media and we'll have a chat. And I'd love you to come along with us and walk and do what you can. If you can't do it all, you can't do it all. Different voice, another conversation, clear your head, great for mental health. And like I say, raising money for charity. What time we're flying, Matthew? We're landing Dublin at 3:55, and Darren's picking us up from airport, driving us to a hotel, leaving us for night, and then picking me back up Saturday morning. And then I think taking me back to airport on Sunday morning, maybe. That might be a stretch too far because he'll be hanging, won't he? Quality show, over 3K, so it's brilliant. Thanks, Richard, mate. Thank you. I'll be meeting you at the stadium. Matty has can't do the walk. No, Danny, that'd be great. All I'll say is the time we get there, I don't know. 10 after at night, maybe. It might be a bit late for some. Hopefully Peacock's still open, although I'll be honest with you, all I want to do when I get there is go home. But even if we can sit down and have a chat for 20 minutes, half an hour, and then we'll get ourselves off. But yeah, we'll see. Stay away from Temple Bar, rip off tenner a pint. Yeah, I know, Martin. I've been counting pennies as well, looking, going, yeah, I don't fancy doing a tenner a pint. But yeah, I've been there a couple of times before, a couple of stag do's in past and that. I know what sort of money it is. But like I say, being with Darren and Joe, I'm hoping they'll know where to go for a couple of quid off that. Like, we'll see. Yeah, now that sound. Yeah, I'll just keep, to be fair, Dan, when I do that walk, I'll be doing TikTok lives, Facebook live, YouTube lives. I'll be vlogging it. I'll be putting messages out. I'll be trying to drum up support with donations while I'm on walk. We've got Bradley, if anyone knows, Lord Bradley, 1919 from TikTok. He's said he's doing it. He's going to be doing the same. Loads of live streaming. I think hopefully we've got Rocco and James from Leeds that doing it. Hopefully. Me, our last, my brother-in-law, his missus, Sean Wilco White, she's definitely doing it. Priestley has said he's definitely doing it. Mike, one of members, might be able to do a bit of it, hopefully. Robbo might be able to do a bit of it. Got a few people. I just hope, Danny, my mate from Danny and Jamie from Garforth Whites, they've thrown the into ring, so they're doing it as well, which is brilliant. They're top lads. Talk about Leeds for 17 hours easily. Might meet you, not Cottingley Crematorium walking with you. That'd be class. Nice little walking, mate. You can get us over that line. I'd appreciate that. But yeah, I think we'll call it a day at that. Absolutely class. An hour and 43 minutes. It just flies by, doesn't it? I come in here sometimes and I've got a few things I want to say. No notes, and I just wing it with chat, and I absolutely love it. Get through chat together and yeah, see how we feel. But yeah, I'm really pleased where we are. Key additions to add. For me, full back cover. Ideally 2, left back, right back, but I think we may just get 1. Replace Schmidt with a higher quality player, and I buy them on that other player as backup. Bring in, I think, a left winger. Ideally, if you can bring a left winger who can play 10, like an El Canoes, who's a 10 who can play left wing, and then bring a striker in. But striker's the one I'm cool on at the minute. I am fairly cool on a striker because I back and Metcher and Pido. But yeah, full back cover for me is number 1 priority currently. Number 1 priority is full back cover. Richard, classmate, thanks, mate. Pat done great show, Matt. Catch up with you on the next one. You will do, Pat. Thanks so much, man. Soon be the season. Thanks, Matt. I can't wait. Can't wait for this to be a review, a match review. I can't wait. Thanks, Matt. I can go to the toilet now. You can miss a minute, you know what I mean? Don't worry about it. You can miss a little bit of it. Love that, Brookie. But no, thanks so much. Absolutely class. Thanks, Ina. Great chat as usual, Matty. Later all. Take care, man. Thank you. Please hit the likes and the links. Yeah, please hit the links out too. Chat, cheers. Cheers, Danny, mate. Matt Jones, hey up, bud. How's your weekend been, mate? And we'll be all good this season. I seen you earlier in chat. I'm going now, Mark. Good night. I'm good. I hope you've had a good one too, mate. And we will be good this season, Mark, my friend. And if you aren't, you have just tuned in and I've mistaken you as being in earlier. I apologise. Go back and watch it. You've got nearly 2 hours left to watch. Andy, thanks, mate. No, thank you, Andy. Thanks, everyone, for being here, mate. Appreciate it. Please like on your way out. Please subscribe. And in the description below is the link to become a member. If you want to become a member of the channel, you can do. It helps the channel out. Sound like one of those like now, don't I? We're really good at this. But there's a WhatsApp group as well for the members if you want to get involved. We've got about 9 or 10 in WhatsApp group. It's really good chat every day. Yeah, check out the memberships if you want. If not, cool. Great. Love you all. Thanks so much. Take care. Yeah, see you next one. Bye-bye.